Hello, good evening, and welcome to tonight's stream. Someone's doing a countdown in the chat. That's nice. I like the fact that you guys are very eager to get started. I think we might have some technical problems tonight, though. Let me get the game up. Boom. There we go. Yeah, I think we might have some technical issues tonight because my internet for some reason decides it wants to run at the same speed as a hamster in a wheel. And I think OBS is still doing that really annoying thing where it freezes, hangs, lags, whatever you want to call it. I don't know though, we'll see. We'll see. I've also had to change the music. In fact, yes, I seem to have messed up the music a little bit. Let me see if I can fix that. For some reason, my second monitor is not appearing on yeah, it's not appearing on media player. Forgot all my words then. I don't know why that is. I could, I suppose, have it come through this TV instead, or I could just have it go through my headset and just say screw it. I think I might just do that. Either that or find a way to get it to work. But I don't really want to spend all my time doing that. Can you guys hit me? Can you guys see me? That's the big question right now. And are you even that bothered if there is music or not? Because I don't want to spend all my time trying to get it working and then someone just comments saying, actually, I didn't want it anyway. And also, can you all make sure that you only have the stream open on a single device this week, please? Thank you very much. So I don't spend 20 minutes trying to figure out why I'm echoing to find out that it wasn't actually me that was echoing. But it was actually me, but yeah, you get my point. Let's just find out if the chat is alive and awake. Hear you and see you. Good stuff. Good stuff. Right, I'm going to start the recording as well then. I'm happy that things appear to be stable. I wanted to test the stream first just to make sure things were working. Excuse me. I've got something stuck in my throat as well, which is nice. Yes, Android. Who's Android? Is it because I'm a disembodied voice? Ooh. Anyway, good evening. Welcome to tonight's stream, this evening's stream, today's stream, whatever you want to call it. I have some very, very good news. And then I have some also very, very good news. The good news is, I think I can now successfully get custom liveries into the game. And it's not just me who's done it, it's a massive team effort. A huge, huge, huge thank you. Let me get Discord up as well. To the team over at BR Trains for very kindly putting up with my nonsense and talking me through the process, particularly Gwyd. I'm sorry if I've mispronounced your name. You spent about an hour and a half last night, maybe even longer, going through it for me, teaching me how to add code, teaching me how to add in the graphics, fixing mistakes that had been made, mostly by me. So I think now I'm at a stage where I know how to do it, which is awesome. I just need to wait to be taught how to compile it. So next week's stream, you could well be seeing M4J liveried trains and GWR liveried trains, Gardcity Western Railway, running on the network, which will be fantastic if we could get that going. Absolutely amazing. So again, a massive, massive thank you to the guys at BR Trains for not just making the new GRF, but also being willing to help talk through how it all works. Do you guys want music, or are you not fussed? I'm happy to not have music. I have got the game unmuted right now, though. So you should, if I zoom in... I mean, have I got sound? That's another question. Not sound setting. Dopey. Although that might point to why... Yeah, my second monitor just does not appear on this list. Maybe I pulled the wire out a bit by mistake. Not fast. Are slowing down bits gonna look like signal forests? Sort of. A little bit. Not a huge amount, just a little bit. Oh, I see what's gone wrong here. That's why I can't hear the game. Right, hang on. There we go. Now I can hear the game. Alright, I might get rid of media play and then if people aren't fussed about music. Yeah, I'll show you an example of what it looks like. So you can see for yourselves. Does that mean then if I actually do this, I might still be able to get music playing? Let me unmute you. And then let me play... Oh god, choose a random one. Let's go this one. Oh, hang on. Yeah, before that works. Got to relaunch media player. This sucks. Media player really needs an update, I think. There we are. Okay. Can you hear the music now? Is it loud? Is it too loud? Is everything okay? Can you still hear me? That's the main thing. Alright, let me get the chat back up on screen. I think I've wasted enough time. What are we now? 5 minutes past? So, this is the conventional way that I used to do things with the speed limits. You might hear me scratching my beard a lot as well, by the way. My microphone really loves to pick up the sound of me scratching my own beard for some reason. I have a very long beard at the moment. I really need to do something about that. Can hear music. Good. Fantastic. So this is Gardcity St. John. It's currently a major hub, actually, in terms of cross connections. I think this has probably the second most connections in the entire network. GSG has the highest. I believe that to be the case. But we got Gardcity Great Eastern in the main platforms here. We will also have Gardcity Overground using probably the two most westerly platforms here, as well as GGE services. We've got HLR station up here, and we've got the Transrapid station here. Now, at the moment, this is kind of a very conventional setup. We use waypoints here to slow down and speed up the trains. And it all works. Very nice, very lovely. However, if I scooch over to GSG, which has, as I said, the most connections on the entire network, we've got Underground, we've got HLR, we've got Overground, we've got Commuter Rail, we've got Centre Rail, we've got Express Rail, and we've got High Speed Rail, and the Railjet, if you want to count that too, plus the trams, plus the buses, everything. We've got everything in this place. It is incredibly cramped. The space here, like I keep wanting to redesign the North Freight Terminal, but the amount of space. I suppose I could eat into this area here slightly. But oh god, it's annoying. It is annoying. Actually, I was going to use this as an example because of the high speed line, but I can actually use GSP, which has probably the least connections because it is literally just station, tram, bus, I suppose, and underground. Oh, it does have overground here as well, I suppose, but the overground might be moving. Anyway, this uses the new system. You notice there's a lot less waypoints here now. Last week, it had more waypoints. Now it has less. And this is what the slowdown looks like. So it's signals placed a tile apart. If I go into transparency mode and zoom in a little bit, you can see. So the speed limit in and around the station throat here is... So coming out of the platforms, it's 15 miles an hour. Going into the platforms, it's 15 after this line of signals here. This area here, the speed limit is 25. Then it hits this signal here and goes up to 35. Then it hits this signal here and goes up to 45. And then it remains at 45 until it hits either this signal here where it goes up to 55, or it hits this signal here and it goes up to 75. So each signal does the same job as a waypoint. It knocks it down by 10 miles an hour. So coming in here, it will go 75, 65, 55, 45. And it works really well. And you might be wondering, what am I actually achieving here by replacing waypoints with signals? And the answer is very, very simple. If I select this train here and go into its timetable, look how big this is. It's freaking huge. Compare that to this, which is my current GWR test train. This runs between GSP and Gardcity Great Winterfield Airport Western Terminal. Look how much smaller it is. And the reason is because all the old waypoints that we used to have here are now gone. So between Woolworth and the airport, there are only 4 waypoints, whereas there used to be about 20. Between Winfield and GSP, there are also 4 waypoints, whereas there used to be, again, about 20. So we've effectively halved the amount of orders required. And what that means is anyone now can come onto the network, start running services, and they don't need to worry about setting up speed limits for every single iteration of the journey. It is all controlled now through these signals. So it's definitely a worthwhile thing to do. I highly recommend it. If you are going to go down the route of realism and having speed limits, don't use waypoints anymore. Use the waypoints for wayfinding still. So here I still have the waypoints for slow and fast release. And the reason I decided to stick with those is so that the platforms here can still be allocated. So the fast trains still go on the left and the slow trains still go on the right. But yeah, using the signals is an absolute lifesaver. It's also a little bit quicker to set up because I have a basic idea as to how fast a train should be going at various points, and it's just a case of setting up the signals to be able to replicate that now. So the speed limit sheets that I made are still useful, but it's a lot nicer now being able to just run a train. You know, you can literally control click 125 miles an hour and let the signals slow it down. The music with the facts feels like the great train heist planning. Oh man. I'm kind of glad that we live in a day and age where that kind of thing can't really happen anymore though, because can you imagine? Like the amount of trains we have running in the UK now, if one got held up, the delays would be unimaginable. Yeah, the throat at GSG is still manic, and the station itself isn't going to change. When I say rebuilding the freight terminal here, what I really want to do is like this whole section, like this section here where all the junctions in and out are, this can be simplified. And this is based on a design that George Marshall posted on my Reddit of a freight terminal he built, where it's like a menagerie of lines coming in from all directions, but it's all like organized, whereas this is not. You can kind of like the good thing about this setup is you can see where it used to be a freight terminal and then more lines have been built over time, so it kind of tells that story very, very well. But this line here, for example, can be gotten rid of with the new idea that I've had, and trains would then come in from here. And the idea is to use 2 loop systems, a northern loop and a southern loop, so that the sets of tracks here will still be set up for different cargoes, but the train will come in and say it's carrying minerals, like these 2 trains here are. Neither of these sets of platforms here accept minerals, so it will go straight through here, round the loop, and then into the mineral platforms. Likewise, if it's carrying dairy, you can kind of see where the dairy one is, it will also loop around and go into the right platform still. If it comes in from... actually, I don't know if we need a northern... I suppose we could. Yeah, okay, so if it comes in from this side again, so this line here is to serve this center road here and then these platforms here. The idea would be that if there's a train trying to get to here, it would go round this loop here, and if it can't make it in from this side, which it wouldn't be able to do, I suppose it could if it went up this way, but pretend it can't do that, it would then go around a northern loop and then would return and enter the platform, and then it would go around the southern loop again and it will exit. And again, using speed limits to using signals to control the speed limits instead of waypoints will help with that, because then a train is always governed when it's in a controlled space like this. Whereas if you're relying on waypoints, it could do the loop like 3 or 4 times, waiting for the pass of the waypoint, and then it will go on to the next order. And that's kind of messed things up in the past, so I'd like to avoid that if possible. But yeah, I do like this. I like how this has grown and evolved. The one thing I would change about this station is I'd have moved it a couple of tiles further north so that Halliday Circus didn't get destroyed. Because it's basically a dormant town now, it doesn't really exist anymore. You can see it's got a population of 0. Even though the station here still exists. You could just say that Halliday Circus was knocked down in the face of progress, trying to get more platforms built on GSG plus the HLR. And there is a remnant, it's got a station named after it. There are areas of London that don't exist anymore but still have stations. So it works. I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world. Anyway, I'm going to start today by re-signalling some of the less populated areas of the tracks around here. So in and out of GSMI, for example, because I think we only have... I know we have the 2 all-stoppers, or the 2 stoppers between here and Fort Flonwood Parkway and Preston, I think it is. Preston, that's the one, not Preston. Preston's a real place. Plus, I think we have 1 APT that runs up to Sunnington, and we also have one double-decker that runs up to, I want to say, Morningpool Falls. So this is a good candidate for the first one to re-signal, and it's very, very simple to do, believe it or not. It's a bit fiddly, I'm not going to lie about that, it is a bit fiddly, however, it is also quite simple to do. So, what you do is you select these signals here. You can see this one is shared by 2 signals, and you very, very easily just add a speed restriction here of 15 miles an hour. You then add a new thing at the bottom, which is if entry direction is from the front, then 25 miles per hour. And it makes it really easy to do these signals. So again, this one's shared by 6, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is awesome. I think that is the case. So again, you just go down here and you do speed restriction set to 15. If you put it at 0, it removes the speed restriction. I think I mentioned that last week. And then if entry direction is from the front, then 25. So that's those set up. Now we can do the fast platforms, which again I think are all shared. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, good. I love it when I pre-plan these things. Oh, hello. That's not what I wanted to do. Speed restriction. 15. Yeah, I've got a bit of lag today. I don't know why. My PC's been sort of behaving itself lately, and then it started doing it again. I mentioned this last week, I know, but it really pisses me off that if you type in OBS frame rate issue or whatever, Google just immediately, in fact not even Google, just forums and everybody just assumes you're streaming. And in this case, yes, I am streaming, but normally I'm just trying to record a video and it's lagging. And it shouldn't lag. That's the thing, a PC like this, it's a year old. In fact, it's pretty much exactly a year old. I believe it was 12 months ago in August that I built this. It should not be lagging after a year. Something's wrong. I've updated my graphics drivers. I'm pretty sure my processor is up to date as well. And it still does it. I have no idea why. No idea. But by God is it annoying. Okay, I think I can cheat with this one slightly. Because I've already got GSP set up and the speed limits are the same. So I'm going to click and drag these across so I know what order they're all in. It's not as important for this, but it's nice to have anyway. So what was that one? That was that one. So this one. And then this one. And then this one. And then finally the bottom one. One thing I am looking forward to is seeing the APTs in M4J livery. That would be awesome. That would be very awesome. And I mean, if you're a member of the BR Trains Discord server, you'd have seen me goofing myself last night by asking for a template, and that's not what I meant at all. I meant like a, I suppose, I mean, in engineering, template is the word you would use to describe. So if you have a mold, maybe not a mold, maybe a jig of something. So say for example you're building a skateboard. That's one of the examples I did at uni. You would have, I'm just going to copy and paste this while I'm doing this. You would have like an assembly bench where it would be put together, or you'd have a machine that would put it together for you. And you'd basically have like a surface that would grip the skateboard, and then there'd be little markers where the screws go, little markers where the wheels go, and everything like that. And that to me is a template. So in coding senses, what I was trying to ask for yesterday was a file that had like existing code in place that I can then just add some extra lines to. And as it turns out, the guys did have that, which is awesome. And again, I really appreciate the amount of effort they've gone into to helping me out with that. But me just going onto the Discord and going, hey guys, have you got a template? I confused some people. I did confuse some people. But we got there in the end, and that's the main thing. Right, now one of these is going to be exit only, and I think it's this one here. So you are going to share with, I believe it's this one. Nope. This one. Yes. And it restricts the speed to 45. All the others Again, we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. Now, I did put out a poll for what people wanted to see today, and I'm surprised actually that you guys chose re-signaling, because I honestly thought Network Central was going to win, which is why I voted for it. I was the first vote. And normally, like, I've decided now that I will always be the first vote, because I always vote before I share it. Not to try and persuade people necessarily, but that's just what I would prefer. Not prefer. Like, given a choice, that's what I would like to do. That's where I vote. But in the event of a tie, it used to just be, okay, we're not doing a stream then. Whereas now it's just going to be whatever I voted for is the one that wins. I think that's a fair way of doing it. Alrighty, so we're going to share these as well. And then I think that's going to be it for the station throat here at GSMI. So again, 45 miles an hour, that's a pretty good speed limit for most of this, I would say. And what the waypoints are here, the trains would slow down a lot quicker, and also when the trains are leaving the station, they would accelerate a lot later. Whereas now with the new setup with the signals, trains can speed up and slow down a little bit more efficiently. So train movement in and out of stations is a lot more efficient as well. Now for this section here, what I'm tempted to do is make this be the release point. Or at least have it be a release point. So let's say if entry direction is from the back, so it's 45, let's speed it up to, say, 60. In New Street it's 10. Is it really? I thought it was sort of around 20. I believe King's Cross is 15, and that's why I based it off, because that's the one I see the most. But I know, like, stations like Moorgate, it is 10 miles an hour because of the Moorgate rail crash that happened there. They reduced the speed limit, and they also put extra safety measures in place. Some stations, I think, like Waterloo, springs to mind. I think it's 20. It really does depend. I think Paddington might be 20 as well. I think. Don't know. Someone will tell me. Someone always tells me. Yeah, let's make this go to 60. Here, and then from the front, if entry direction is from the front, then limit to, whoops, 45. There we are. And then you are going to share with you. So if I do change it for whatever reason, it'll recalculate. Very nice, very lovely. And then you are going to copy from this one, but your speed limit is going to change to... actually, am I going to... maybe not. Reset. I don't think you're going to speed up here. I think you're going to speed up here. Because then we can copy from you, and your speed will go up to... I think 80 to go around this corner. Derby was 30. Yeah, so terminus stations are very different to through stations for obvious reasons, I'd like to think at least. So yeah, they do change a lot as you go around. Have I set this up? Yeah, that should be fine. So yeah, if it's 80... Actually, I don't need two signals here, do I? I just need you. And you're also going to be where it goes down to 60. So really, I just need you to copy from you and change it to 70. And then this other signal I can get rid of as well. That helps. That helps a lot. Yeah, the Derby remodeling. I'm surprised that they only made it go up to 30 though, because that's still quite slow, all things considered. Slow trains here. Let's say they also come in down here at 60, but then they slow down to 45 for these sets of junctions as well. So if I go... so 60, 50, 45. So get rid of you, get rid of you. That one can stay. Get rid of you, get rid of you. As for speeding up, I mean, we don't need these. They can all go as well. Are you on that track? I think you are. Oh, you are on that track. There we are. Crossrail looks fantastic. It's a shame it's been delayed, but the frustrating thing for me is I keep looking at it and thinking, it looks ready. Like, there's not really much building work going on now. It's all just testing, which you can't really see, because a lot of it is, you know, testing equipment behind the scenes and testing the electronic systems and the signaling systems. So you see a lot of people sort of walking along the track in those pictures, and I'm just sitting there internally screaming, because I'd rather see some trains running on it. And the thing that really bugs me about the Crossrail promotional stuff they keep posting, and this, by the way, is so pedantic it will hurt you. Every single video they show of a train running on Crossrail, it's always running on the right-hand side. Why are they not running them on the left? Is it going to get to a point where they're going to suddenly like open the line and realise, oh sugar, we didn't actually test it running on the right side of the track? I think one picture I've seen shows it running on the right side, which is not the right-hand side. They're two very different things. Julian, no, they're not using any old tram tunnels. They did use the Kingsway subway for access purposes, but not for running tracks through. I would like to see that, the Kingsway subway, be used for something again, though. If they ever do build a light rail system through central London, that would be my candidate for where it runs. I still think, I posted this on Discord 2 weeks ago, and nobody replied to it, which I thought was quite upsetting. I really like the idea of the Piccadilly line being extended south from Aldwych. So I was reading up on Aldwych the other day, because I saw a video of basically just a guy walking down the line between Holborn and Aldwych doing maintenance, and all the track is still in place. The station at Aldwych, the platforms are still in place, and the platforms at Holborn are still in place. So it'd be really cool if they extended south from Aldwych down through somewhere like... Originally, I think the plan was Waterloo to extend through, but I don't know if that's feasible anymore, because I think that's before the Jubilee line was extended down that way. But it'd be really cool if they extended the Piccadilly line down through somewhere like... I don't know, like London Bridge sprung to mind as well. But into South London, South East London, because it's very underserved by the tube. In fact, let me get the tube map up on my phone very quickly. So from Aldwych is basically just south of Holborn. So you could go down... Oh, yeah, okay, I remember the one I talked about before. Down through Blackfriars, and then maybe down through London Bridge, and then into like New Cross Gate, that kind of area, and serve South London. That would be a really cool idea. Yeah, the original plan was to extend it to Waterloo, but I think that was back in the 70s. Since then, the Jubilee line has been extended that way. But if you actually look at the tube map, so Charing Cross has extra platforms where the Jubilee line used to terminate. That's been sort of earmarked for an extension to the DLR from Bank. So if you go on the tube map from Bank to Charing Cross, and then if you go from Holborn south to Blackfriars, just above the National Rail logo at Cannon Street, that would be a really good candidate for an interchange between the Piccadilly line and the DLR. Maybe even build it at Aldwych. It's right in the middle of central London. I think the only reason Aldwych closed was because it was a branch of the Piccadilly line rather than its own separate line. And I reckon if you made it be part of its own line, then extend it further south, then it would be quite a popular station. It's on the Strand as well. It used to be called Strand even. I think there's something in that. Metropolitan went bankrupt in the north. I don't know what you mean by that. Okay, what did I say the speed limit was here? 80. So from 80 here, it's then going to go up to... This is really easy because you just do it like this. Let's say 120. because then you only need 4 sets of signals here to bring it down. In fact, 3, I think. 110, 90, 110, 100, 90. Yeah, you do need a 4th. So you can copy from you and then change you to 80. And not 180. God no, can you imagine that? Flying through the station. And then you copy from you and you go to 90. And then 100. I went very Hertfordshire then. People say those from the home counties don't have accents. You should hear me speak. Mind you, I've got a bit of a mixed accent because my dad's from the north, my mum's from Croydon, so it's a bit of everything. There we go, 110. Metropolitan went bankrupt in the north. North electric overhead wires, south third rail. I still don't know what you mean, Julian. You talking about Metropolitan Railway? Yeah, Aldwych just had a shuttle. It was basically like a little branch line shuttle. Which, I mean, again, in central London, it's not like the Waterloo and City where it was kind of essential and therefore that's why it's a shuttle. Aldwych should have had a better service than what it got. It was very much shortchanged. And to be honest, I don't think many people would have even taken a train from Cockfosters right the way down through to Aldwych when they could have just gone to Holborn, one up. But if you extend it further south, excuse me, I've still got something stuck in my throat. If you extend it further south into, you know, across the river, places like London Bridge, you've then got commuters arriving from the south of the network who are then taking the that particular line, that branch of the Piccadilly line, up into the city. Why's my mouse not moving? I have a mouse mat as well, and it's really sticky for some reason. I don't mean sticky like gooey, I mean sticky like refuses to move. I think I forgot to take something off the bottom of my mouse and it just doesn't glide across the surface like you'd expect. Again, I've had it for a year. I have no excuse. Really should have done that by now. I'm already thinking about upgrading this PC, but I know I can't afford to. But I'm just so tired of things freezing and not working. Like, video production itself is so simple now. I've managed to get Adobe working and it's so easy to render videos. I render like somewhere between 7 and 13 videos a week. But recording now seems to be the issue. Isn't that the Waterloo and City? Yeah, I talked about the Waterloo and City. But the Waterloo and City, when that was first built, that wasn't like a shuttle service in the conventional sense. It was technically an extension of the railway that arrived at Waterloo. That's why it was so successful, because they wanted to build a station in the city, and they weren't allowed to because of the restrictions in place at the time. So they decided instead that they would build the terminus at Waterloo and then have the Waterloo and City line convey people into the city, because there was no rules against building underground. Right, top speed here. I don't know, we'll have it at 60 still, I think. We'll have it at 60, and then over here at Quorthing Way will be where it speeds up. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4 here, I suppose. Will be where it slows down to 60. U will be where it speeds up to 100. Evening, C Tucker. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today on this rainy, horrible, miserable, wet day? Alright, 60, 70. Oops. 80. Did you know there was a plan to extend the city widening lines from St Pancras to Moorgate? Oh, sorry, I just got what you said. Did you know there was a plan to extend the city widening lines, which doesn't run from St Pancras, it runs from King's Cross to Moorgate. But yeah, I know what you're referring to. Wasn't the plan originally to go all the way to Paddington? Because that's where the two subsurface lines split. That would make more sense. But actually, again, looking at abandoned railways, would that have worked? I suppose that could have worked. But yeah, looking at abandoned railways in London, the York Road Tunnel at King's Cross still exists. I thought they'd filled it in, but it still exists. They use it for maintenance access to the Thameslink core. Now, the canal tunnels are all great and good and working and fine, but how cool would it have been to have upgraded the York Road Tunnel? So you've got the 3 tunnels going into King's Cross, the 3 double track tunnels. The third one, which is the easternmost one, is now being brought back into service. But how cool would it have been before that was arranged if they'd used that tunnel for Thameslink, had York Road platforms just underneath King's Cross going down, so where the York Road platform used to be, have that be the new gradient down, and then where the tunnel starts, have a set of platforms there that directly connect to King's Cross, and then have Thameslink go that way instead of through the canal tunnels. I think that would have been pretty good. But then I don't know what state the York Road Tunnel is actually in. They probably would have had to have filled it in and then completely dug it out again, like they did with Crossrail. But I look at these things and just think, is it a missed opportunity? It probably is. Probably is a bit of a missed opportunity, some of these projects that didn't really go ahead. But then, you know, I'm a rail enthusiast and I love seeing big complex rail junctions, so that's probably part of it as well. Barbican route has been reinstated as a tube. Yeah, they've turned that into 4-track again. Again, they used some of it for access for Crossrail when they were doing Farringdon, and I think that kind of spurred them to make it part of the tube again. Again, though, I don't really know what that is going to benefit, how that's going to benefit. Maybe I misunderstood when they published it, because essentially it's just the gap between Farringdon and Moorgate is going to become 4-track again. I don't think they're extending it to Liverpool Street, and in my experience of travelling along that part of the tube, it's Liverpool Street that's really busy, because a lot of people getting off the train from East Anglia. Moorgate itself isn't that busy. Plus, I suppose they could use it for terminating services into the bay platforms that used to be part of Thameslink. But then how many services terminate at Moorgate? And once Crossrail's open, more people are probably going to be using Liverpool Street again. I don't know the full plan. That's the problem I have. That was not where I wanted to place that signal. I'm going to do a little bit of speed limit control here as well, because this corner here always bugged me, and I can't really do much to change it because of the cross-city line. Is that state? I think that is platform there. Right, so you are going to share with you, you are going to share with you, and you are going to share with you. Oh, there's lightning outside. Lovely. Love a bit of lightning. Moorgate has access to Crossrail. It does. It has access to the western side of Liverpool Street. What I'm saying is, are they actually going to make more subsurface trains terminate at Moorgate? Because I don't really see the benefit of that, unless it's just during the peak times, I suppose. Even though Moorgate is in the city. The entrance to the passageway is at the end of the bay platforms. So is it just for Crossrail connections? Evening, Frank. Welcome, welcome. What should I have the speed be? I suppose 120 for the APTs, because they do have tilting technology, even though I don't think you actually see it in the game. So it's kind of a forest of signals. That's not a bad comparison for it. I think what you can do is create long reserve, which I don't fully understand how that works still. But it will be a case of once the train hits this signal, say, it reserves its path over to this signal still. So it doesn't need to stop at any of these four. That's my understanding of it, but I don't know how easy that is to actually make work. Right, you copy from you, you share with you, and your speed is 130. And then you, and you. As promised, I will be banging the drum in a little bit for budget rail again, because I think what I said on Tuesday was slightly misinterpreted, or at least some of the responses to it may have been slightly misinterpreted, but I'll explain what I mean by that in a second once I've finished doing this signal here. So you copy from you, you share with you, and 150. But yeah, what I meant by budget rail is not just affordable ticket prices. Not sure that's my best guess. They probably plan more terminating services to connect with Crossrail. Maybe. I suppose with the new signalling system that would work. But then I think it would still jeopardize some of the other... I haven't finished this. Some of the other services that the new signalling system would benefit more, I feel. I don't know though. But yeah, when I talked about budget rail, and Flixtrain especially, so SNCF own their own rolling stock anyway, so they can do what they like with it. But one of the great things about FlixBus is they don't own any of their vehicles. They don't own any of their drivers or anything even. It's all done through subcontracting. So they have bus partnerships. So other companies run the buses on behalf of FlixBus. And there's been a bit of controversy about how that works and working conditions and things like that. But overall, I think it's a good idea when done correctly. That's what I like about it. And what I think Flixtrain does very well is it's not just affordable tickets, but it's also affordable to run as a service. So it's a sustainable business model, which is something that a lot of companies here I don't think plan for. So you look at like Hull Trains, they spent ages working their way through the system before they could finally afford the IETs. If you actually go back through their history, when they first started, they used second-hand turbo stars, which, if you think a fast service between King's Cross and Hull using turbo stars must have been bloody awful to travel on, but it was appealing to people because it was cheap. So one of the ideas pitched in the Discord the other day was to use old Mark IIIs and then purchase new Class 68s, but that to me doesn't fix the problem, because you still have to buy new trains. Meanwhile, you've got old HSTs rotting away in storage. You've also got networkers rotting away, 365s, and yes, some of them are being repurposed for freight, but not all of them. And that's the thing you've got to bear in mind. Even if operators have said they're taking on, say, 10 of this train and 5 of that train, there's still other members of the class just sitting away in storage somewhere, being wasted. And if you look at what Viva Rail have done with the D train, they've taken an old redundant tube train that was replaced by the S stock, and they've actually given it a purpose again. And so many companies are now falling over themselves to actually acquire them. You know, West Midland Rail on the Bedford to Bletchley line, Transport for Wales have also got some, the Isle of Wight, South Western Railway have ordered some. I think that's the solution, is taking old trains, maybe retrofitting them, maybe doing a little bit of work on them. The 319s are being turned into bi-mode trains and tri-mode trains, which is basically just bi-mode trains still. And I like that system. That to me is what should be happening more. So don't buy new, use old. And the funny thing is, we were talking about cross country the other day, and how they don't want HSTs, even though I think they need HSTs. And I was watching Dylan's travel reports last night when he went from Aberdeen to Penzance, and every single comment was saying, why do they still use Voyagers? Why don't they bring back the HSTs? That to me is the argument. They don't want HSTs, but I think they should be forced to use them. If they want new trains, they should just get the old HSTs from GWR or LNER, retrofit them, relivery them, whatever it might take, add phone chargers and sockets and all that good stuff, Wi-Fi, and then run them. That's what people want. Keep the buffet. It might cost a fortune to run, but I think the amount of people that use cross-country, it would justify it. And also keep the Voyagers, but run them in pairs. So you haven't just got a single 5-car unit, you've got a 10-car train instead. More capacity. That's what the solution is. They're about the same. I think 2 Voyagers is about the same as 1 HST. At least it is in terms of length. I think the Voyagers do have a higher capacity. But it's kind of, if you increase a train size by 2/3 and not quite double, you still satisfy the general consensus. What am I going to have the speed limit here? Okay, I know what I'm going to do. Remove you. If current order is... So where's the waypoint? The waypoint's there. So if current order is just this side, then speed limit is going to be 100. No, not 1,200. 100. Both the DFT and cross country have stated they don't want them, which sums up the problem. Yeah, that is the problem, is people think they can pick and choose. You can't go around demanding new trains, because that's the other thing. No train operating company buys trains. Whenever it says, like, South Western Railway have placed an order for 60 Aventry units, they don't pay for them. They do it through a financing agreement. So normally it's a rolling stock leasing company will actually buy the trains on the assumption that that train operating company will then, you know, take possession of them when they arrive. That's what happened with the Desiros that were ordered for South Western Railway, the 707s. Southwest Trains ordered them through the leasing company. Then they lost the franchise, and South Western Railway came in and said, we don't want these anymore. So brand new trains that they didn't pay for are effectively on the scrap heap already because they were rejected. But I still think it's a problem that's plaguing the rail industry now, is too many companies are being forced to. They don't necessarily volunteer to buy new trains, they're being forced to. And I still think back to that Jeff Marshall video when the D-Train was first introduced on the Bedford-Bletchley line, and he went round just asking people what they thought of the new train. And it was kind of like one of those BuzzFeed type videos where halfway through the video he then says to them, you do know these trains used to operate on the London Underground, right? And so many people went, no, I didn't know that. These look new to me. And that's the thing of too many companies now think we're going to criticise them for using old trains, but if you make them feel new, then the general public, it's only us enthusiasts who know that they're not. And even then, like if the HST was refurbished and brought back on the cross-country route, I can't imagine a single enthusiast who would be upset to see HSTs running again. And the general public don't know enough about railways and about trains to know that they're not brand new. They just look new, therefore they must be new. Trick them. You know, they don't need to know. And it's not really deception, is it? They are new. They're new to that route, if you want to be pedantic. Or newer to that route, because they have operated on it before. I think they were fitted with new engines not that long ago. The carriages themselves have been renovated recently. They do comply with, is it PRM? Persons of Restricted Mobility, I think that's what it stands for. Regulations. So, use them. I just realised I've cocked this right up because you are next order and next order, and you are also next order. But yeah, when I was talking about budget rail, I literally meant like an open access operator leases. I mean, let me think of an example. Say Sheffield to. Actually, say Manchester to Hull. That might work. Actually, Hull's not electrified, is it? Somewhere on the east coast that's electrified to Liverpool. And they'll lease the old 365 networkers, and they'll make it all standard class throughout. Maybe have a buffet trolley that runs up and down. A 4-car unit, which sounds ludicrous, but just go with me here. And run it as budget rail. £6 a ticket. No, no add-ons, no mod cons, nothing like that. And just run a simple, cheap service. The trains are cheap to maintain. The service is cheap to maintain. The staff are cheap to maintain. Hire. Where's the issue with that? Why is that not beneficial to everybody? Cheap rail travel, cheap to operate, everyone makes money. Instead, you've got, is it LNER? GNER, whatever they've called themselves, running between London and Newcastle. And straight away, they've not even run a train yet. There's no wheels have turned. And they've already ordered however many IETs for 20 million quid. And the money does have to be paid back at some point. So they're already 20 million quid down, and they've not run a train yet. Does that not sound a bit dumb to you guys? That sounds really dumb to me. Doesn't sound like a good business model. The first thing you do is spend 20 million quid on rolling stock. Cross Country are taking 2 extra HST power cars from LNER, currently easily being repainted and modified to work with power doors to allow 4 sets out of 5 in traffic every day and all 5 on busy days. That sounds smarter. But it really winds me up when I read things like this operating company isn't interested in using an HST. And the first thing I always think of is why? What's wrong with them? What is wrong with them? Nobody is sitting there saying they're old, withdraw them. You look at how many people turned out to watch The Last Day at Paddington as well. They're a popular train. More people would be pleased to see them back. I reckon ticket sales will actually go up if they brought HSTs back on that route. Because a lot of it is just enthusiasts wanting to ride along on an HST again. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, for me, budget rail is literally everything is operating on a budget. And I do like, this might be controversial, I do actually like the business model that budget airlines use. Like, people criticise Ryanair for everything is an extra charge, but when you're running a business, that kind of makes sense. Because then it's optional. The customer then has the choice of, do they want to pay extra for this service, or are they happy to say, actually, you know what, I don't need that. Personally, I think that's also good for the environment to have that kind of system in place. It makes people question a little bit more whether they actually need it or not. GWR are having an extra 4 castle sets. It's good. They're perfectly good trains. They are perfectly good trains, and I will always support that. How many signals? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 2 more. 7, 8. So you're that one. You're that one. Let's organise these. So you're that one. You're that one. I know I sound like I'm talking absolute gibberish right now. Actually, these can't share. No, these can't share because you are this side. Did I not rename you? Oh no, I didn't. Did I rename you? Yes. Now let's rename this one as well. Just having fun. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Am I getting Train Sim World 2? Short answer, no. Not at the moment. No plans to get it. Train Sim World was a real divider, shall we say, in the old rail sim industry. I remember I did that stream where this guy just came on and he would not stop talking about how Dovetail games are just, you know, daylight robbers, that kind of thing. And it really winds me up when people do that. It really winds me up. It's not the best game ever made. No one was expecting it to be the best game ever made. It is, however, probably the most realistic looking rail simulator game ever made. And that to me stands for something. Train Sim World 2 is basically them admitting that Train Sim World didn't work out how they hoped. And they overpromised, which is the biggest crime you can commit in video games, is you overpromise. You look at Fable when that was first released and everyone was asking where the features were that were originally announced and then weren't in the game. For me, that was Train Sim World, and I felt a little bit disappointed by Train Sim World. I don't think I was robbed, but I did feel a little bit deceived in that there was no multiplayer, there was no Steam, there was no scenario editor. And those were the things I bought the game for, those three things. Because one thing I do like about Trains, the game with the Z on the end, is the fact that it was multiplayer. So you might not have been the best at the game, you might have just messed around with your mates, but that was the thing, mess around with your mates. And you could do that on... hang on, I'll just remove this. You could do that on things like Farming Sim as well. It's not meant to be taken seriously as such, it's just a good multiplayer game that you can play with your friends. And that really was where Train Sim World fell a bit flat for me. Train Sim World 2, they've already started removing some of the roadmap features that they originally promised. And that, again, like the red flags are flying. So I do like the livery editor. That's something cool. And I like the fact that you can carry over your assets from Train Sim World 1. Because they could have very easily made that not be the case. And I'm glad they didn't do that. So they score points there for me. But yeah, I do feel a little bit skeptical. Just a little bit. Not a huge amount, just a little bit. No, I don't need to do. Don't need to worry about any. Actually, I do need to worry about some. No, I don't need to worry about any of this stuff. Speed restriction. Let's just say a nice flat 40. The reason is these bay platforms here, I'm actually going to turn back into through platforms to increase capacity. How long have you been working on this map? Because the cities are very large. The game itself, I mean, the year at the bottom here is 4065, but don't take that too literally, because I did rewind the clock a few times back at the start. So it's probably like the year 6000 or something in reality. But yeah, the game, I've been working on this map for 2.5 years. Maybe longer. Does anyone remember when I switched to this map? It must have been, it might have been about, yeah, sort of mid 2017 I think it was. You can't copy from the same signal, Mark, you doofus. It's an old map. I can tell you that much. It's an old map. It's been around for a while. I didn't realise that the link in the description pointed to my old website still. So yesterday someone was asking me on Reddit, can they download the map? And I said, yeah, link's in the description. And I went and checked it out and realised, oh hell, link isn't in the description. So I changed that quickly. And then I broke the record for the most number of people visiting my website. So that was awesome. I love, because Squarespace sends you a little notification on the app when you've got an unexpected amount of traffic. And it literally just said like highest amount of traffic ever. I think 43 people visited in the space of an hour. Which might not sound like huge numbers, but when you run your own website, that's the dream. To have that many people. That is indeed the dream. It was awesome. So thank you, everyone who's gone on and viewed that. And actually, today was meant to be the day that this version of the map would become available to download, but I'm going to wait a little bit longer, maybe till next week, so that I can get the GRF sorted. and the custom liveries, and then you'll be able to download the latest version. And I'll update the GRS folder as well, because there's a few new new GRFs that I've added. Do you know what, actually, I'm going to make you that. And you're just going to share with that one. So when trains come out of here, they're going to go 40 miles an hour, go underneath, and then they're going to speed up when they hit this signal over here. So they're going to join the main line and then speed up. Right. So yeah, this station here, I'm not going to do it now, but I think it's going to get a bit of a rebuild in the future to match up with the new configuration that I'm bringing in. Now you can share with these ones. So 1, 2, 3. How is the stream? Is it pretty stable, or is it a bit iffy? 4, 5. How bad's the lag? That's what I want to know. I did briefly watch back the time-lapse from Tuesday just to make sure that the new animation was working, which I'm glad you guys noticed that, because it would have been really upsetting if I'd spent all that time on it and then no one noticed. But when I was watching the preview, whoops, I was in the wrong place. When I was watching the preview, it was a bit jumpy because it was still on Premiere, so I had this horrible sinking feeling that it was just lagging the whole time, but I don't think it was. But I've not watched back the actual stream. Stable. Okay, that's cool then. Another quick announcement as well. I'm doing all the admin work today as well, it seems. If you are a patron and you're also a member of the Discord community, you can connect your Patreon account to your Discord account, and it means that you'll get your assigned role on the Discord server. So at the moment, I know I have 2 patrons, and yet only one of them has their server role. That's what I meant to say. Has their server role allocated, and what that means is you'll be able to access the Patreon only chat. You'll also be able to post videos in the video links, because I know George, you asked me about that, and hopefully I did explain that quite well. Actually, I'll talk about that again in a second as well, because there is a valid explanation as to why that is the way it is. Okay, so I think this station is now done. So the last one to do, on this stretch of line at least, I think these corners are okay, running at top speed. This one here is a bit, but I can't be asked to do anything about it. But over here at Morningpool Falls, yeah, this one's going to suck, because everything. So the waypoints are all here. And that one. And then there's the 2 depot in and outs, which I don't think this depot is used for much at the moment, but I might use this as a West Coast Trains depot. We'll see about that. What was I talking about? Admin stuff. Oh yeah, so you can get your admin, you get your role in the Discord server, and it means you'll be able to access the patron only stuff. And if you're thinking of becoming a patron, the link should be down in the description. And also, if you haven't filled out the viewer survey, because I'm still waiting on more people to fill that out, because I think we're still on like 12 or 13, and I really want it to be up in the, at least now, the 50s, if not the 100s. Because that'd be nice, because I can get a good representation of data. But yeah, the other thing, so the video links chat on the Discord server, it's not for link dumping, which a lot of people, I think, would use it for, either intentionally or unintentionally. If you like a funny video, that's fine. You can share that with your friends, but it's not what my Discord server was created for. My Discord server was created for sharing ideas, basically. Sharing ideas with like-minded individuals, talking about latest rail news and all that stuff. So I'm not a fan of just link dumping on videos. That really isn't what it was made for. However, saying that, the reason the reason that chat exists is if we're talking about something in the M4J network chat and someone mentions, you know, have you seen the latest Crossrail video? Instead of putting it in that chat, if you put it in the video links chat instead, I realised I've said chat so many times it doesn't sound like a word anymore. But yeah, if you put it in the video links chat instead, it means you haven't got to scroll through the M4J network chat all the time to find that video. You can just go to the video links chat and it'll be right there. Which is also why I don't want things like Michael McIntyre compilations in the video chats, the video links chat, because if you're trying to find a specific video and you have to scroll through Fail Army, drunk text, all that kind of stuff, it'll just put a lot of people off the idea. So I totally get the idea of it will encourage more people to use it if it was open to more people. But I think as a deterrent to stop people from link dumping, that's why I made it Patreon only. So no one's going to pay me $5 a month just to post their video in the video links. Because that's the other thing, is people start using it for self-promotion. And I kind of base my idea off, if you are members of the YouTubers and small YouTubers, I think it is, communities on Reddit, they have a currency called Lambda. And you have to participate in the chat in order to get Lambda, which you can then use to post your own links. And I like that system, which is why I kind of implemented it, but with Patreon instead, because I think it works better. So that's why it's set up that way. It's not always going to be that way, but it's good to get that system in early so people are used to the idea of it, rather than having to quickly implement it at the last minute because someone abused it. That's why it exists that way. People might not necessarily agree with that, but that's why it exists that way. Have you connected industries? Yes, you saw a freight train just rumbling through there, in fact. We do have some industries connected. Not many, I'll admit, but we do have some. The plan is, it's one of the reasons why this resignaling project has come at a good time, actually, because George Marshall suggested building a freight terminal down on the East Coast line. There's also going to be one up by Gronwell Superior. Plus, Morningpool Falls here is going to get a rebuild. And Guard City North is going to get a rebuild. Guard City South is finally going to get the services it deserves. And we're going to bring freight back in abundance. Because one of the issues I had with freight trains is because they run such long distances. In fact, I think I showed it earlier. The amount of orders that one freight train would require is obscene. So to actually have it, I really should have organised these better as well. So to actually have it so that you know, you can just say go from this waypoint here to a waypoint 600 tiles away, that would be ideal. Have I done these right? So you're 80, you are 90. And then you are 100. But yeah, if anyone has any more suggestions for how to improve the Discord. A lot of people think I'm quite dismissive of it, but again, I got accused of roasting someone. And I don't really know how that happened. Because all they asked for the bots to be given their own role in the server. And all I did was reply, like, how would that improve the experience for you? I never said no. I just asked, like, what's the rationale here? And apparently that's roasting. But if you do have ideas for how to improve the server, I am all ears. I might question why. Like, really the thing I will ask is, how will this improve your experience? And if you have a valid reason, so like for the video chats link, the reason was it would encourage more people to use it, which I totally agree with. But then I also have my reasons for why it is as it is. But that doesn't mean it's not sitting now in the back of my mind that I'm trying to think of ways to make it work. This channel is built on other people's ideas. You know, the idea of bringing OpenTTD back, for example, was not my idea. Someone suggested it to me one day, and I thought about it for a bit, and I thought, you know what, that's actually a good idea. And here we are, 2.5 years later. I'd say it worked out alright. You guys would probably beg to differ, but I'd say it's worked out alright. Okay. You 160. Job's a good one. So that's the painful bit done, is doing the fast lines. The slow lines are actually a lot easier. Although this one's a little bit different because there are more signals required. I think 4. Get it from 100 down to 60. In fact, from here I think it's going to be 6 because we're going to drop it down to 40. this curve here, for example, I don't know why I decided it had to go west of Slartwood. I should have just gone that way instead. I suppose it's so that we could hit Freedingworth, although we could have looped around and come back in that way. I don't know why I built it really messily like this, but I did. So it's my cross to bear. You're going to copy from that, except you're not, because you're going to be 40. The hardest part of doing the GWR actually wasn't doing the speed limits here. It was remembering at the last second that it was a freight corridor. So I had to go back for all the times where, so like in and out of the airport, for example, I couldn't just do on the slow line, slow down to 45. I had to do, if you carry passengers or mail, slow down to 45, else slow down to 30. And so on and so forth. And even on the releases, so instead of just saying go back up to 75, I had to say if you carry passengers or mail, go up to 75, or otherwise go up to 60. It's really, like, once you've done it once, it's a lot easier to replicate. But doing it that first time is a pain in the arse, to say the least. Alright, you're 80, and then I need one more. So you're that one. Good. And then you are 90. And then it comes in at 100. So that's all good. And then on this side, in fact, this one here, perfect. You are going to copy from, I don't know, just say you for now, and then change the number to 100. Alrighty. Now, this throat here, I'm actually going to rebuild now. Originally, I wasn't going to do this today, but the more I look at this, the more I absolutely despise this layout. It is the ugliest station build I think I've ever done. Right, I'm also going to build, whoops, move you to there, and you're going to copy from that. I'm then going to remove you and you. And essentially, yeah, this is going to get a proper rebuild. So from here, you're going to go straight underneath to there. Same here. And that is the new junction. One set of crossovers, nice and simple. Although it is going to change a little bit in a second, you'll see why. So then you go there, you go there, you go there, and you go there. Now the reason it's going to change slightly is because here we need to get trains up and over, which I'm going to deal with in a second. And also, in fact, is there an also? I don't think there is an also. Oh, I suppose there is. Yeah, I wouldn't mind being able to get trains from here across as well. And same on this side. And then from here, yeah, you're going to run out like that. You're going to run out like that. You're then going to go there and there, there and there. And then this is going to be the site of the bridges there and there. Let's make them look nice. Let's go with stone arch? Oh no, that's just viaduct. Truss? I suppose we'll just go with boring trusses. Why not? But also, if I move this back again, and then remove you. The idea here is to have you go across like this, you go across like this, and then you're going to drop down and join up like so. I might just have you go fully across like that, thinking about it, and like that. You're then going to run straight like that, and then down and down like this. And then you, oops, and then I think put them here, like this. You are going to be deny if next order is you, then, oh hang on, if entry direction is from the back, then if next order, for God's sake. Anyone else misclick a lot when they play this game, or is it just me? Playing on a big monitor like this, it's going to sound like a first world problem this, but by God, do I misclick a lot now on games like this, where the UI is basically the same size, so it looks a lot smaller on the screen. Right, and your if current order is that. Also, this one here, I'm actually going to change so that if current order, remove you. Yeah, you're also going to be if current order is that, because these waypoints here are going to go bye-bye as well. The station is the waypoint, you've got to remember that. There we go. And the speed limit here is going to be 40, same as it is elsewhere, so that's fine, don't need to reset anything there. Okay. Good stuff. And doesn't that look a lot better? Oh, does that look a lot better? So now you can still go from, say you come in on the slow line here, you can still cross right the way over to this platform if necessary, if you're going up to Sunnington, or if you're coming from here, you can stop here and then you can go right the way across and go out this way towards Wenfingfield. Forget the names of all my stations as well. I'm such a pro. Likewise, you can use the, so if you come in from here and you're going up this way, you can use that line. You can also do the same thing here, and then if you're coming in from this side, you can use this platform, and if you're coming in from here, you can cross over. So it works out quite well. It does work out quite well. Okie dokie. Everything else here should be fine, he says. Yeah, seems to be. Seems to be, because these are all set up correctly, that's all set up correctly. I think all the speed limits here are A-OK now. So now we can move on to the next part of the project, which is speed limiting this. And again, the great thing here is we can control the speed a lot better now. We don't have to rely on the waypoints, and in fact, just remove the waypoints, which means this tunnel here can become a single tunnel. Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be good, having that as a single tunnel. Fantastic. Plus, speed limiting into the depot here as well is also going to be handy. I am going to keep the waypoints in the depot for the time being, but remove all these ones as well. Which I think means removing a lot of these ones too. And that one. Over here, yeah, that's not connected, so that's fine. And then all the waypoints up here. Actually, how's this done? You are... Yeah, if next order is, or if current order is. So you're going to be, if next order is here, or if current order is here, but on top of that I'm going to do or if next order is here, because you never know, trains might be going back to the depot. You're then going to be renamed, take out the number, and with you take out the number. Good stuff. What speed limit should we have through here? Although before I do that, I just want to replace this tunnel as well. The one of the reasons I want to rebuild this area is because this, like all the junctions coming in and out, is such a mess. So the actual platforms themselves are probably going to remain in situ, but everything else, all the approaches and everything like that, is going to get redone because it's ugly as hell to look at. It's really not a pretty freight terminal. And freight terminals aren't supposed to be pretty, don't get me wrong. But it would still be nice to have one that I don't projectile vomit every time I look at. So let's say 40 miles an hour is the speed limit here. So let's have it go up to 70 as it goes out of the station here. So you were going to copy from this one. Yeah. and then you are going to copy from that one, and we're going to go up to 50. And then you are going to copy from that one and go up to 60. And then you, and you're going to share with that one, you're going to share with that one, and you're going to share, whoops, with that one. I think that's right. Yeah. Good. And then you and you are also going to share. What's happened to the chat, everyone? It's all gone quiet. If entry direction is from the back, then speed restriction, oops, 70. I think 70 is a good speed here too, and then it can go up to full speed again down here. That works for me. Likewise, 70 miles an hour. I mean, this bit here is going to be a bit tricksy. I might move this over. Maybe. For tilting trains, it's fine. And that's a new problem I've encountered now, is tilting trains and normal non-tilting trains are all going to be running on the same speed limits now. Unless I can find a way to group it, which I could do, but I'm not too fussed about that. I did actually have an idea to rebuild this freight terminal and fill this gap here completely. The only reason I didn't is because of this line here, but if I have a new tunnel here and then come down like this, or maybe here and then come down and connect up over here, and then all of this central area can become the new freight terminal. I think that might work. Who knows? But yeah, where is everyone? 7 people here, it's telling me. Let's get the chit-chat going. Should I control... no, I mean, the waypoints still control the speeds for the trains here. So I'm okay with that. Although, actually, you come in from... yeah. Alright, we'll have to redo the freight again in a second. But I've already done it once for the GWR and it didn't take too long, so I'm okay with that. Right, so yeah, 70 miles an hour through all of this. I'm okay with all of that. And then when we get to here... I think a top speed of... it's 100 for tilting trains. That was the thing. For the APTs it was 100, and for everyone else it was 70, I think. 75. I might just make it... I might just make it 100. What's the... does anyone know what the speed limit is along the wall at Dawlish? That would be handy to know. If you could pick one project that was cancelled to be revived, what would you pick? Let me think. It's a retro one, this. I would have liked to have seen a new fleet of networkers built. Was it called the Network Express, I think they called it back in the day. So long distance networkers. And I'm trying to remember what their classification numbers were. 431 springs to mind, but that might have been the Crossrail one. But basically, after the networkers were first announced back in the early 90s, late 80s in fact, I think it was, the plan was to build a fleet of express networkers that would then run like up the East Coast main line, up the West Coast main line, things like that. Plus, they had plans at one point to have networkers run through the Channel Tunnel. I'm not sure about that one myself. I think that might have been a stretch too far. I like the TGVs doing that job, the TGV Eurostars and the Volaros. They're pretty good as well, I suppose. Really weird. Have you heard the noise that both TGVs, both Eurostars make actually? It's like a really whiny, bit like me, really whiny, horrible noise that people can't really tolerate. 60? Is it really only 60? Well, hell, we're not doing 60. Maybe 80. I think 80 is a good middle ground. I thought it was a lot faster than that. I am going to slow it down to, I think, 50 through Bedtown. So 1, 2, 3. Just because it's junctions, you know. No other reason really. So you are just going to be 70. So I only need 2 here actually. Don't know why I made 3. Wrong button. But yeah, the networker program. I love the networkers. They're really nice trains to look at. They're really nice trains to ride on as well. So I think that would be mine. So it's not like a major infrastructure project or anything like that. And the reason it existed was to get rid of the old slam door stock. That's why the original networkers were created. To get rid of the southern, southwestern, southeastern slam doors. And it kind of worked. Yeah, in that respect, it kind of worked. And I just love the networkers. I love the 365s. They're nicknamed the Happy Train. If you look up a picture of a 365, you'll see why. Because they've got like the air conditioning vent on the front, and it just looks like a smiley face. Really cute. It's so sad. Like I was really pleased when they got their revival in Scotland for a short while. But I think they deserve better than a life of freight. That's what the 325s are for. And they keep, like, they talk about turning old Thameslink 319s into freight trains. And then they talk about converting 365s into freight trains. Does anyone know what's happened to the 325s? Because as far as I'm aware, they're in storage. They come out like once a week to do some parcel traffic, and that's about it. Seems like a massive waste. Massive waste. 60 on the approach to Dawlish Station, 75 plus elsewhere. Okay. I thought it was like 75 for a lot of it, but that's good to know actually. Oh, also, I'm a derp. Why have I got that? Didn't mean to do that. If cargo can carry passengers, or if cargo can carry mail, then 80. Otherwise, if entry direction is from the back, if cargo, oh for God's sake, this is what I mean by misclicking. Cargo can't carry passengers, and if cargo can't carry mail, Jesus Christ, then restrict it to 50, should we say. This is how I set up the GWR. It's a pain, but it's good when it works. And I suppose I should redo these ones as well. 8 viewers. I think this is the highest viewership I've had for a while. Which is why I'd like a busy chat. Busy chat. Right, so that's that set up, and then if cargo can't carry passengers, if cargo can't carry mail, then we're going to restrict you to 30 as you rumble through here. And then just for clarity's sake, because right now we're not speed limiting the southern part. How long have I been streaming for? An hour and a half. Bloody hell, time has flown. Probably hasn't for you guys, but for me it's flown. Normally when I'm doing this I have music playing, so time does go past quite quickly. Yesterday, for example, doing the GWR, I managed to get it, pretty much the entirety of it done and tested in 2 hours, which is about 4 hours less than I thought it was going to take. I was dreading doing it, but I knew it had to be done. So I'm quite pleased that it wasn't too bad. I mean, technically, you don't need to have a limit here if you're going at 50. Bad with a lot of lag. The chat's lagging. Are you talking about on the stream? There is a delay. That might be why. There is a delay in the chat. That's nothing I can help. That's just the way YouTube operates. Yeah, let's fix this bit as well. So let's remove those. So I think here it is done by signaling, if I'm correct. Or is it not? Oh no, it's done by the waypoints, isn't it? Of course it is. So let's say here, the speed limit in the middle can go up to 100. Because it's just the tilting trains, I think, at this point that use this. So if entry direction is from the back, then go up to 100. And we'll grab the one at this end as well. God, this is longer than I thought. And you're going to share. So if we do again change it for whatever reason. .185s could be going to EMR for Liverpool to Nottingham. Yeah, the fact that the 185s are redundant right now is also stupid. They're good trains. They're very good trains. Serious questions need to be asked though about just what the hell is going on with the DFT. Because they are basically, they're forcing companies into bankruptcy a lot of the time by making them promise fees that they can never pay back. They're also forcing companies to commit to new rolling stock, which a lot of companies can't really afford to do. So it's not just TOCs coming in and promising the world. They're basically having to do that in order to win the bids, and I think that's so stupid. It's not a feasible business model, is it? Let's say 50 along here. In fact, yeah, I think we'll just have it be 50. We won't separate between passenger and mail. Just 50. And then approaching. Did I say the speed limit was 80 along here? Yes. I might have to go change the sheets for this. But at least again, you only have to set this up once now, and it's done. One and done. If current order is U, which can be renamed, then if cargo can carry passengers, or if cargo can carry mail, then restrict speed to, I'm going to say 50, or maybe 45. 45. If cargo can't carry passengers, if cargo can't carry mail, then 30. The existing system has been confirmed to be dead. Post-COVID, it won't continue. It very much hinges now on what does replace it, though. I still think the DFT should be in charge of awarding franchises. That's not what my gripe is. My gripe is that they shouldn't be forcing these companies to pay over the odds. Because basically, when you put out an offer to tender, if you're trying to build new trains, for example, you're looking for the company that can offer what you want for as little money as possible. Which, you know, that's good business. That's what business is. But if you're offering someone else to come in and do a service for you, which is what the DFT are currently doing, then you want someone who offers the cheapest, or the most money, the most return. So that's where the issue for me now is too many companies now are promising too much money. They're saying things like 50% revenue share or whatever it might be, and the truth is they can't afford it, and that's where the issue is for me, is they just can't afford it. And that's what happened to National Express when they got the East Coast franchise. They ended up defaulting on it because they couldn't afford the payments. Well, speed limit here is 50. And I have it go down to 30 here. And then here it's 45. So you're going to copy from this one. But I'm just going to say, I don't know if current order is... But we don't even need the current order, do we? Let's just lift you out and remove you. Like so. And then you are going to copy from this. And then we're just going to remove this top one. And change you to 40. There we are. Coming off the back, actually, we'll just do it here. And then yeah, we will have a signal here somewhere. I don't know. Let's just put it there. So you're just going to copy from this one. Oh, I do love the signal templates. That makes life a lot easier. You're going to be lower speeds down to 90. Which means we don't actually need this one. So you're going to go 90 and then down to 80. It's like to follow a concession model, so it'll be a fixed fee. Beyond that, we do not. See, fixed fee is fine. Fixed fee with maybe bonuses. So I actually have it be performance based rather than a flat out we'll pay you this much no matter what, because that's when the issues start. Is if you have a particularly bad month or a particularly bad year, suddenly you can't afford your payments anymore. And that's when the bailiffs come knocking. Which I mean, that's pretty much what happened to National Express. Is they couldn't afford. I think GNER had the same problem as well. Actually, they ended up defaulting on payments. It's really unfair. Because okay, they got themselves into that mess, but they were made to overpromise. That to me is where it becomes unfair. Do I have waypoints here? I do. Yeah, there. So you're now loop north. That's Bolton backwards. Whoever suggested that as a name, I do know what you were trying to do. I know. But still, it was a good suggestion. That's why I chose it. Maybe they're from Bolton. I don't know. Who knows? Right. And then, how many do we have over here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2. Someone's baking downstairs. It smells really nice. I'm going to go eat after this. Might get a delivery. I've been doing that a lot. I hadn't done that for ages, in my defense. And then, because of lockdown and everything, even then, actually, I wasn't really getting many takeaways. And then just recently, I suppose because early stages of lockdown, there wasn't any takeaways. But since they started bringing it back, I kept telling myself, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. And the next thing I know, I've got a cheeseburger. So, I did it. Following the TFL model. Yes, you don't very often hear... it's Arriva, isn't it, that operate London Overground. You very rarely hear them complaining. The only time really they've complained recently is because the Adventurers were late. Which is why you don't just buy new trains. Certainly not new trains that haven't really been tested on the network. Oh, I think the stream's lagging. That was... I got the spinning wheel of death for a second there. It's never a good thing. What are their waypoints here? This wasn't signal controlled, was it? Hang on. Huh. Okay. Let's then get rid of you, you, you. So the speed limit here is 50 for freight train. What was the speed limit here for freight trains? It is 50, isn't it? Yeah. And I'm going to slow them down to, let's say, 30. So you're essentially just going to copy from this, except you're just going to say, get rid of that, and get rid of that. And in fact, we don't really need this one either. Can't carry passengers, can't carry mail, speed up to 50. Everything else is already running at 50, so there's no problems there. Actually, no, we don't even need that. You're just going to be a simple case of if current order is... There's a waypoint somewhere around here. Where is it? Not there. There. Then slow down to 30. And then you here. I'm going to slow down to 40. There we are. Seems to work with Merseyrail as well. Yeah. It does. And the DLR. Because that's not run by TfL. That's also run by third party. It's a good model. See, I still don't agree in privatization. I still think letting nationalization. Sorry, I still don't agree with nationalization. I do agree with privatization. For example, the government actually said no channel tunnel would ever be built, and then it was privately funded, and now you can catch a train from London to Paris, maybe even beyond. And that, to me, is a good thing. And that's, I think, we should let more... Network Rail is a nationalised company still. Maybe we should invite more private funding into the rail industry. Still do it through Network Rail, but have other companies finance projects, for example. It's not a bad idea. Actually, I was going to... I mean, 30 miles an hour all through here. It slows down to 20 in and out of here anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I think companies should be awarded for innovation. Yeah, so... That was my point with budget rail. So if a company goes from Paddington to Birmingham and they use old Voyagers, or they use the 185s, or they use old Networkers, wherever it might be, they should be given a subsidy from the DfT for doing that. Rather than the current model, which is you pay the same rate no matter how much you actually improve your service. And then, you know, it creates an economical incentive for the companies to put the customer first. And that, in my opinion, is what's missing from the rail industry right now, is not enough companies put the customer first. So they're coming in here at 80, 70, 60, 50, 45. That's perfect. And then all of these are allow and restrict speed to 15 if entry direction is from the front, then speed up again to 25. And then all of these do the same thing. if entry direction is from the front, then not reverse, idiot, 25. Okay, and then these ones over here I might as well do as well. So what, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I've got one more to do after this. I'm going to do a slightly different system here because of the sidings we've got, which I know for a fact are used. So I'm not going to have it immediately plow up to 45 miles an hour again. Let me change this one to slow you down to 15. Are there any incentives for it's Porterbrook, isn't it, who are pioneering the hydrogen technology? I think they've had a couple of government like scientific grants, but nothing from the rail industry, which seems really weird. As good as it is for the environment, and you know they are still being monetarily rewarded for it, I still think it's a bit dumb that they're not sort of being backed more. Okay, so you are going to share with you. These ones are already shared, so that's fine. You're going to go back to restrict to 15. But if you're coming out of the front, I'll admit, I've talked a lot tonight, and that'd be one of the reasons why, but I thought I was going to get more of this done tonight. You know, I had plans to do this line, then I was going to do the Gardcity Southern line, then I was going to go over and do some of Southeastern, some of Southwestern, and then the West Winds line was the other one I was going to do. But I've spent so long doing this. But I suppose, you know, if you want a tutorial for how to do this, this stream has been pretty good in that respect. Can't complain about that. Alright, if entry direction is from the back, limit to 15. If entry direction is from the front, up to 25. There we are. Also, having it be 25 going through this tunnel here is not the worst idea in the world. So it's going to come out the station 25 miles an hour. Here it will slow down to 15, back up to 25, back down to 15. And then when it gets to this line of signals, it will then go up to 35 and then 45, and then it will stay there until it reaches here. That's the plan. Also, you, and you. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly put remove speed restrictions because we do have the HST run through here at the moment on the West Winds line, so I don't want that to get caught up in all of this. I don't mind that using the speed limits that it's already got. That's the other thing when you've got other lines converging and leaving like this, where it becomes a little bit of a pain sort of governing it all. Right, so if train comes from the back of the signal, this is where it goes up to 35. If train's coming from the front of the signal, that's when it goes down to 25. So it was that one, and that one are all shared. So you now, you're going to kind of share with this one, except you're not going to have this bit. You also don't need the deny at the top there. There we are. So that was that one. Now you are going to share with that one. And then you, and you are all going to share with that one. There we are. Wow, we got 8 people. Still. All stunned into silence by how good I am at OpenTTD. Ah. So you're going to be 45. I think. Yeah. I had a feeling you'd be there. So you are... that one. Oh, it's just... Okay, so we got some... you're going to reset. Now, why is that? I don't know if this one's necessary. I don't think that one's necessary. So let's start this again. You. That's the front side one, isn't it? And then it's you. Okay, not you. But all the other ones, pretty sure you can all share with this. And then if entry direction is from the back, 35 miles an hour. And if entry direction is from the front, then 45 miles an hour. Good. You're already set up. Everything else, these ones need to be, yeah. So if coming in from the back, then speed restriction needs to be 35. If coming from the front, speed limit can be 45. Now it says you're sharing with 2 others. Is it these 2? Yeah. Which unshare, reset you. You're going to share with that. And then we're going to remove the speed limits because they're not needed. Awesome. I think everything else here is set up except for these ones. Oh boy. Oh boy. I can see the horizon. We're so close. So, if you're coming out from the back here, then if cargo can carry passengers, or if cargo can carry mail, then obviously allow, but also speed restriction of, it's 80, isn't it, along here? But if entry direction is from the back, and then if you can't carry passengers, then if you also can't carry mail, then 50. Derp. And I think I've messed up. I think I've messed up some of the signaling over here because I didn't do passengers and mail and non-passengers and mail. Come back to that in a second. Yeah, because that might need doing. I don't know though, maybe it doesn't. Depends how fast you want unfitted freight wagons travelling across these junctions, I suppose. Anyway, you. I think we should do it. If... I just realised I'm sitting in a really awkward position at my desk as well. No wonder my wrist is aching. I've got this brilliant armrest on my chair that's just an inch shorter than where it needs to be so that I can hold the mouse comfortably. Or if I for God's sake. Cargo can carry mail. Then restrict speed limit to 45. If cargo can't carry, if cargo can't carry mail, then restrict to 30. Hey Tom, is it 9 likes? It says 8 on my screen. If it's 9, I'll be very happy. Very, very happy. Right, you go up to 40. And then this one here, we don't need the freight one. So remove you. Also, you should be 50. And then you can be 60. I'm enjoying these streams. Don't get me wrong. I am enjoying these streams. It gets a little, like, everyone's hyped at the start, and then it goes very, very quiet during the middle, and then it just ends, and, like, no one's talking. There's so many things we could be chatting about right now. You might well. Yeah, you might well have been the 9th. Yeah, there's so many things we could be chatting about right now. So where's the... Was it here? Why is that one set up? It's a bit finicky. The great thing about it is you only need to do it once. And once it's done once, then it's done. Because then, you know, if I turn this into a multiplayer game, which I have every intention of doing, people can just come on and set up trains. They don't have to worry about doing all the speed limits and stuff. Okay. So I got these ones, I think, are the ones I need to set up. So you're just the passenger ones anyway, so you're fine. So those two are covered. This one, I mean, this is kind of easy to set up still. To at least amend it, because you can just now say if cargo can carry passengers or if cargo can carry mail. Although, I suppose... Okay, no, I'll keep it as is. So you then go down into that, and then you go up into that. If cargo can't carry mail, passengers, then if cargo can't carry mail, then you move up as well. There we are. And then these ones... Oh, are you done as well? Yeah, I think you're done as well. So, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, and then there was a forward-facing one somewhere. This one. Yeah. Sort that out in a second. 10 likes. It's only just ticked up to 9 now on mine. I must, like, again, I'm not complaining. I'm very, very happy with how this has been received. Every video now in this series is getting, you know, over 70 views, over 75 views. Tuesday's episode has 92 views, 14 comments, 3 likes. 3 likes is a little low, but, you know, the views itself is fine. It's more the fact that the subscriber count doesn't seem to be moving. So people are people are watching this series clearly, but not subscribing still. And I need to check the stats there too. I will come back to these signals in a second. But a lot of channels do now go on about how many people, like subscribers to non-subscribers. 60.3% of all my views come from people who aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you just hit the subscribe button down below, that would be really, really appreciated. Right, what am I doing with this? So, if entering from the front, if cargo can carry passengers, or if cargo can carry mail, then allow and restrict. If entry direction is from the front, then if. The other good thing about this, and I know I keep saying the other thing about this is, but it is the other thing about this, you guys don't see all this when you're setting up your trains. You can literally just come on and set it all up. You don't have to worry about route finding or anything, 'cause it's all done for you. So I'm doing the dirty work here so you guys don't have to. You're welcome. And what should we have the... I think 10 miles an hour going into here. I know I've set it to 15, but I think 10. And then 20... Oh, sorry, 20, 30. So I think you're going to be 30. Coming out of here. Which then means all of these... which I'm going to have to change again. Why not have a message come on screen at the end of pre-recorded videos reminding people? I do. To subscribe, you mean? Doesn't... Oh, I might not say it anymore. It used to say it on the screen. When the video would end, it would come up saying, thanks for watching, please like and subscribe. But then a lot of people these days don't like being told to like and subscribe, which I kind of get. I do kind of understand that. Yeah, okay, so this I'm now going to have to do... Because, I mean, me personally, I'm of the mentality of if you like a video, you would subscribe to that channel. Not everybody does, though, which I find weird. Because people, again, when they watch the stuff, the view time, like the actual watch time is also a little bit low at times. But that's, you know, some people just click on a video wanting to see what it is and then they might not like it. So that's totally fine. But if you are liking it, and a lot of people are because they're hitting the like button, but then they're not subscribing, and that to me doesn't make much sense. But the thing I'm most interested in right now, obviously I don't want my subscriber count to drop below 1,000. Oh, no, this is not right. Oh god. This is going to be really awful. Obviously I don't want my subscriber count to drop below 1,000, but what I prefer is if the watch time went up. Because the more minutes that people watch the content for, then the more... well, the closer I get to monetization, and that's the dream right now. Is being able to screw those advertisers. Is that the right one? No. Try again. That's the right one. If cargo can't carry passengers, and if cargo can't carry mail. What am I setting up again? This one. This one. Yeah. Allow, but restrict to 20. No. Well, what am I doing? So you're going up to 30. Oh, I've completely messed this up. No, I've completely... Oh. I have completely messed this up. Right. Start again. Get rid of you. Set you back how you were before. I'm going to open this right up so I can see everything. If entry direction is from the back, so that's this one, right? So here, actually, what do we want the speed to be here? So I'm really tempted just to say screw it and leave it as is. But I can't, because that will annoy me. If cargo can't carry passengers. If cargo can't carry mail. Allow. But restrict. 2. So over here, you're going to be 10 in and 20 out. Maybe 15 out. Like, really slow it down. So then here you're going to be running at 15. So here you're going to be running at 25 or 20. 20. And then here you're going to be 30. So if you're coming in from the back here, you're going to slow down to 20. Also, going back to having a subscribe thing at the end of videos, if you look at the end screen, which again as soon as people hear credits music starting, they skip to the next video, and unfortunately on YouTube you can only have an end screen in the last 20 seconds of the video. But if you wait for it to come up, there is a subscribe button. If you click on it, it subscribes to the channel. Please click that button. When you see it come up after this stream, please click that button. And again, because I was talking, I forgot what I'm doing here. So you're coming in at... So you're slowing down to... Oh god! My memory! So you come out here at 10. You go up to 15. You come along here at 15. You get to here. And you go up to 20. And then you come through to here. And you go up to 30. So you're actually just going to be 45. Oops. 45. And for this one, get rid of that. For this one, if entry direction is from the front, if cargo can't carry passengers, if cargo can't carry mail, then I think I might just do an allow. I suppose I could still restrict it to 30. It's not the end of the world. I think that is what's required. Maybe. So what are you? You're also shed by 5, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm guessing you're the 5th? Yeah, and then there's this. You're only allowing passengers and mail through anyway. Oh wait, no, you're not. I'm going to have you share with this one. So you're only letting passenger trains through. Yeah. And then which one's the front one only? Is that you? Yeah, so you're fine. This one should be now fine. Even though there's a lot going on here. Man, oh man. Okay, I think I'm happy with all of that. Now I've got to set this one up. Which I might just be lazy with. So was it you, and you? I can't be lazy with it, really, can I? I can't. Stupid. Right. You. Open. So, if coming from the back, if next order is that, if you can carry passengers, if you can carry mail, allow, restrict to 35. If you're going from the back, that's the next order, you can't carry passengers, you can't carry mail, then you, so you come out of here at 10, you go up to 15, all the way along to here. So your speed restriction is 20. Right, if you're coming from the front, you can't carry passengers. Right, if you're coming from the front, and you can carry passengers, I think we need to take the mail out of this bit, because the mail trains are going to be coming through here. Because the mail platform is this one as well, I believe. $11 likes. Bloody hell. People setting up fake accounts to like my videos now. Do you know what? I'm still going to stick with the mail trains are more fitted than unfitted goods trains, so it's fine. Allow and restrict to. So what? You're this one here. So was it 25? I believe that to be correct. But if you're coming from the front and you can't carry passengers and you can't carry mail, then you're going down to 15. 1, 2, 3, you. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're covering all of these bases. In that case, I think what I'm going to do here is a deny. Then, if cargo can carry passengers, because I don't think mail trains are going to be coming through here either, then if train is entering from back of signal, hang on, sorry, wrong place. Oh, frick. If entry direction is from the back, if cargo can carry passengers, then allow and restrict to 35. Most likes I've had on a video during a stream, I think I got to 15 once. I think. Although I might be getting confused with new followers on Twitch. But I'm incredibly grateful every time I get a like. Might not sound it a lot of the time, but trust me, I am. Frick. Come on. Dopey bastard. Right, and then restrict. Okay, I think this is now all set up and working. I think. I will test it at some point. Why are you set up? I'm just going to reset you. Oh God, you've been done as well. So was it that one? Unshare. Oh, for God's sake. I'm clicking all the wrong things now. Alright, hang on. I don't know if these need to be done. I think I know why they were done, but I don't think they need to be anymore. This is when I had like massive... These two can stay. I had a massive congestion here. Fast trains couldn't get through because slow trains were blocking the lines. But I think with the new scheduled dispatch system, this won't be an issue anymore. Okay. I think that pretty much does it now for the stream. Can't think of what else would need to be done apart from renaming that. So the last thing I would do, and I suppose I could very quickly go through and do it, is to here for example, oh God, see, look at this. This is something else that's going to be helpful. This train just shuttles backwards and forwards between Benpool Coal Mine and Morningpool Falls. So now I can come through here and delete a load of waypoints. So for example, this one here, 33, 37, 69, 73. fact, do I have... Yeah, not lob north 1 can just now be not lob north. So now I can just go through and all the ones with numbers in, I can remove. Like so. And even here. That one. That one. This one. These ones... Actually, do I have... What did I do at Ablewood Hotel? Where is Ablewood Hotel? Here. So yeah, there's no waypoints here now. Like so. And then also, this one now has gone. So, what are you? Ablewood North 2, I suppose? Oh, it's this one again. Yeah, that's fine. Ablewood. It's on here twice more. Where? There. Like so. Get rid of this one. And also... Oh god. Where else is it? There it is. Like so. I think everything else along here now is fine. Oh no, up here. Not lob. Also has an extra one. There and there. And one more. There. Trying to find them, that's the hard bit. And I suppose I could just look at the numbers. That would be good, wouldn't it? So what's that, 57? Yep, there it is. I don't think these numbers used to be in the game. I think they've been added in at a later date. Stroke of genius, whoever was responsible for that, though. Stroke of absolute bloody genius. Right, 4 there, that's fine. Come down here, so Bedtown... there should be 4 here. Why is there only 2? Ah. Because I got rid of you by mistake. There we go. Bedtown North 1. Ah, that's why. Because I got rid of it because it had a number in it. Always remember to rename your waypoints. So you now go through 3 times, and I need to put the 4th one in. So 23... There we go. There's the 4th one. And then 36 and 50. And 37. And then what? 48 and 47. There we go. So at this point here, the speed limits get restored. I might... What is the speed limit through here? As it goes down the branch. What am I looking for? Bedtown branch. So it's 60. So yeah, I will limit it to probably 30 again. Just as we come through here. It's quite simple to do. If cargo can't carry passengers, if cargo can't carry mail, then 30. And then grab you, copy, there, 40, and then there, 50. There we go. Get rid of all those. I also got rid of the train. That was smart, wasn't it? Can I get you back? Might do it with this one instead then, actually. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Pin you. Like so. And then pin you So when you guys are playing OpenTTD, do you enjoy doing this kind of admin side of things, or would you prefer not to have to worry about it? Because as I said, this is the reason why I've gone through and done all this, is so that when people come on the server, they don't have to worry about it. 2122. Oh, this is Bedtown branch. Ah. Where's Bedtown branch 3 then? Oh, it is that one. And also, what's this? 58? Yep, you don't exist anymore. So now you go straight through, and then when you come from here, yeah, you're all fine now, because you go round the loop there. That's all good. And then when you come back, this one here, what were you? Great Radeon West 2, I believe. Yes. Okay, you see how much shorter this is now. Not too keen on the admin side. I thought you liked numbers, George. I'm pulling your leg. I hate... Well, no, I don't hate doing this. I find it quite therapeutic at times, if that doesn't sound weird. I would prefer not to have to do it, but it is really satisfying when it's done and working. And that's really the reason I continue to subject myself to this, is because when it's done, it works really, really well. Okay, so come through Gronwell, you get to Morningpool Falls. So Great Dradingstone here is where you slow down to 30, you roll through Morningpool Falls. And then when you hit this waypoint... So yeah, even here, did I set you up with... No. Didn't. I think here... No, I am going to have to do it, aren't I? Oh, we were so close, guys. We were so close. It's fine, though, because you're shared. So, if train is entering from back of signal, if cargo can carry passengers, or if cargo can carry mail. I like recording numbers, but not doing timetables and signalling, etc. Finance. Oh, so you only really care about the money side of things. I think a lot of people can say that, though. If we're being truthful. Like, I have a burning passion for making money. If cargo can't carry passengers. If cargo can't carry mail. Then I think 50 still along here. Like so. So then, yeah, when we get to here, 60 is actually fine for this, and then 60 all the way down. Pretty much through all of this now. I am also going to change this one. If cargo... Oh, God. Again, it's all shared, so we only have to do it once for each one. But... Or if... No. Or if... Cargo... Mail... Here's the shower. I've just got the congratulations, you've received 100 messages today with Restream. So I had, what, 8 people watching at any time, 12 likes, 11 likes, and only got 100 messages. That's the bit that I need to try and improve on now, is getting more people to actually take part in the chat. That is, yeah, that's the next challenge. I like recording the finances and the progress of each quarter. So when a company sees its best worst quarter, I like reporting and recording that. That was my criticism before, wasn't it? When I was reading your presentation, because the presentation itself is fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but I couldn't work out whether it was meant to be like a progress update, or whether it was meant to be like a history of, because it starts off as a history of, like this company was founded in this year, but then it just straight away, it's like you've completely changed tack suddenly, because you go, you know, the company was founded in 2019, and then suddenly it's just a load of numbers. It made this much money in the first year, this much money in the second year, this much money in the third year, and I'm just reading it, I'm thinking, you know, slow down a little bit and talk about the history of the company a little bit more first, and then break down the numbers. I used the wrong expression again, because I said it's like, tell it like a story, but that's not quite right. But at the same time, don't just like bombard suddenly with information. If cargo can carry passenger, then, or if, sorry, cargo can carry mail. What I would do with the presentation is I would have a whole slide saying M4J rail was set up in 2016, I think was when you could say it originally started. Heavily inspired by the UK rail industry, it seeks to do this, this, this and this. And then on a separate slide, then say, in the first year it made this much money, in the second year it made this much money, in the third year it made this much money. Don't put it all on the same slide. That's what I would do. Okay, set you to 60, set you to 40. I think now you're all fine and you're set up. So I think now we're good to go. So I can now set this up to 60, and all of these can be set to 60. I can't do the control click still, sadly, because of the way I've got it set up along the line to Gronville. But that'll be next on the list as well. That'll get done. Now here I am going to do when it reaches combine approach, slow down to 20, 20, and then here again, oops, 60, because it'll still be under the 30 limit. That's the good thing. So waypoints can control speeds below what the signal is set, but and signals can control speeds below what the waypoint is set, but not the other way around. So you can't have a waypoint make a train go to 60 miles an hour when it's limited to 40. I like that feature. So I can now have this go all the way to Bedtown Mill. Then it's going to go back to the waypoint speed control. And then when we get back to Bedtown Mill, it'll be under, excuse me, speed control again, so we can go back up to 60. Now, I think the other freight trains, because they only go through Morningpool Falls to get to the freight terminal, they shouldn't be affected by this. It's only the one, oh, there is one other one actually that will be affected by this, but I'll do that one off camera, that's fine. Because there's this is the coal train, isn't it? But there's also the goods train that goes all the way up to Sunnington, so that one's going to have to be done. Could I do that one quickly? I don't think I will. I don't think I will. Thing is, if I don't do it, I'll forget to do it, I'm sure. But if I do it, this stream's going to go on for way too long. So I think I am going to... you need to be 30. I think. Oh no, you're going to be 60 still. Of course you are. Yeah, because we're not going into the freight terminal now. We're going up to Morningpool Falls again. Where you are going to go down to 30, then 30, then 40, and so on. So this is when it runs back to the depot now, so I can leave it as is. Right, you're set up and going again. So it'll go through and it will recalculate those journey times, and then it will adjust the timetable and schedule dispatch to match that. Awesome! Alrighty folks, I think that'll do for the stream. So we've been going for 2 hours 27 minutes. I'm going to stop the recording now. There we go. Stream is still running, I hope. Seems to be. Thank you very much everybody for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't done so already, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this on playback. The number of likes, if it is really 11, it's still telling me 10, but I'll believe you guys. That is awesome. Very much appreciate that. It's good to see that this series is getting traction again. One of the things I really like is the fact when I post this series on Reddit now, it gets lots and lots of upvotes there too. So I'm not a karma whore or anything like that, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to know that people are sort of paying attention and acknowledging the fact that this series exists. That's the good thing that's coming from this. So thank you everyone who is watching, thank you everyone who is liking and upvoting and all that stuff. It's very much appreciated. Thank you, C Tucker. Thanks for coming in and watching. Again, this is the ugly side of OpenTTD. I'm not claiming at all that this is the most interesting side of the game, but there are people out there who are interested in this side of things, like I am. So it's nice to kind of be able to do it on stream like this and shoot the breeze whilst doing it. And once it's done, like I said, now the GWR is done, I'm just waiting for the GRF to be compiled, which I'll be doing hopefully tonight. And then we'll have custom liveried trains running up and down here. And then I can start implementing that across the rest of the network as well. That's what it's all going to be. That's what it's all worth in the end. Being able to sit back and watch it all work. It's going to be so damn satisfying to see. So hopefully next week's stream, whatever it might be, maybe we'll do Network Central next week. Maybe we'll do more speed limit stuff. I'll put a poll in the on the Discord, and I'll also post it on the community tab on YouTube. And I'll try and remember to do that tonight once the stream is finished. And yeah, whatever you guys vote for is whatever we do next week. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the stream, and of course if you enjoyed the series. Drop some comments down below if you're watching this on playback with any ideas for future episodes. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. I think I've done all the admin stuff as well, so that's good. Glad you enjoyed the stream. It's a shame you can't hit the like button twice. Please don't try and hit the like button twice, because you will unlike the video, and that's no good. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and until next time. Let me pause the music actually, so it doesn't just suddenly cut off, even though it is going to oh, it's right near the end of the track. Let me just see out the end of the track. There we go. Awesome. What great timing. But yeah,